James Wan's dark.
So what is Malignant? This is
I like
a
we're
James
just
Wan
gonna
movie.
cycle through every adjective because they were like first Insidious came out and then it was like sinister, and if you watch this like a movie called Pernicious, like if you go to Netflix, like they just keep going down the thesaurus. It's like Pernicious. That's all that's left.
They
All his
also
stuff is
sound
like
like
that, Saul
they
and
sound like
Cotton and
Sith Lord
Dirk.
names.
Yeah.
Darth Malignant.
Darth Malignant. Yeah.
Darth Insidious.
Darth Pernicious.
Darth Conjuring.
They do.
Conjuring is a good one. Why are we overthinking this? Yeah.
And James Wan to me is you guys, and we'll get into this more like on the show, like getting into horror stuff. I watch horror movies primarily because of you, and I have another friend that likes horror movies. I've somehow become friends with people that love horror movies, and I never watch horror movies
Because
by
everyone
myself.
loves horror movies.
Yeah, but I
Except
never
you
watch them
and Greg.
individually. I like watching them socially, which is fun.
Oh
For this
yeah, I
channel
don't watch
because
them
we
by
can do that.
myself. That's
Well,
creepy. And
well,
weird.
but I'm just saying. Well, but I'm saying just in
Under the covers
like,
on my phone.
when it's not like a group of people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
I get you.
because I just never feel like. But now I do. But for James Wan, I've been so converted because Insidious, I think, is one of the really, and then to Conjuring. I think as a filmmaker, he's still like actually really good. Like, I mean, I never
can be
saw.
scary. Like,
Yeah, well, he's so
like the
subtle
first
though with
two
his camera
Insidious-
work is.
those two Insidious movies are really good, and the ones that follow are okay. The ones he doesn't do, they're all right.
And the
But
first, two Conjuring are great.
Conjuring movies are really
Great.
good, and then the third one's like all right.
But he's such a
Like-
master of the camera, and you notice like subtle things happening. It's like that's the hard stuff that I like.
He can
when
make
it's
it
very
scary.
Subtle.
It is
Yeah.
so hard, but he's so good at it. Like his movies actually feel scary. So
Do
I'm
these
curious
movies all
about this
take
one.
place in the same universe?
Same house.
Yeah, and Aquaman's super scary.
Aquaman scared the well. Those sea creatures.
Fast and Furious 7, super scary. But
My man.
Diesel.
yeah, my man.
My man.
But yeah,
All right.
so I'm excited about this. Just I mean, I haven't watched the trailer. You have different thoughts. We'll talk about it. But this is James Wan's newest HBO Max horror movie coming out.
I'm having visions.
Whoa.
Matrix time.
This is where it starts to
almost
lose
looks like
me
a-
because it's a little too CG.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get scary when they take you out of it.
Dream.
It almost has an Evil Dead kind of vibe to it, though, where things
Seattle.
start warping and looking weird.
Seattle's creepy.
But if you
and
did that
rainy.
practical, it would be really creepy.
I'm
But we
seeing
already know
it.
you can do it CG.
I'm seeing murders.
See, that was a cool
As they're
in-camera effect.
Hello?
His movies are so pretty though.
His
Usually
name
too.
is
He
Gabriel.
knows what he's doing.
I think he's someone from my past.
VHS. Horrifying.
Whatever happened to you before you joined
Yeah.
our family?
Is this the
VHS
silent
is
running
weird.
video?
I can't even imagine.
It's Paranormal Activity 3.
They're kind of dating themselves with that.
It makes it creepier regardless.
Well, analog is scarier than digital. That's just the truth.
Because it's not CG.
Because it's a physical object. You know?
I like
Oh,
that guy's
see that? That's
face.
cool. See,
Yeah. Ah.
this is stuff he's good at.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, some of these are like, yeah, I see what you're
Whoa.
saying. Some of it's too
Keep it simple. That's what made
weird
Insidious work.
CG.
He wants to talk to you.
I like the lighting there.
See, the phones bother me because you're
Because
dating
that's
it.
not scary, yeah. Now people watch that
Well,
later and
what do
go,
you know?
oh, iPhones, remember that?
That's iOS 13, man.
Yeah.
He's coming for me.
Whereas like Insidious, they'll base something around a grandfather clock. That's like a
Right.
timeless sort of image.
Who are you, Gabriel?
That's
What? The
pretty
music. What do you call that music?
It's not bad. I'm afraid that with all those fancy visuals that it won't be scary because it takes you out of it too much.
Who did it say wrote that script?
Well, you know they put the craziest visuals in the trailer. I'm sure they're spread out more in the movie. They're not as
Well, and
In
I
your
trust I trust him. He is good at what he does. Like I can't imagine that he'll make a movie that isn't scary at all based on what we've seen from him. I'm not a Saw fan, but in terms
Oh,
of haunting
no.
kind of movies, Insidious and the Conjuring,
Did he make
Those are-
Saw?
Yeah, well, that's what it, when he's real. That's how he got
that's how I
famous.
got it. Made
I
his
didn't know
bones on
that,
Saw.
yeah.
It was the
Him and
same
Lee
guy
Winnell.
that the guy that's in Saw but wrote Saw is the one that wrote all the
Lee Winnell.
Insidious. Yeah,
Now-
and directed the other two, right? Wayland, what's his name too? What's
I don't want to be,
Lee.
yeah?
controversial, but I do not like Saw.
I don't like Saw at all.
I didn't like it
Like,
as much either.
If people can have it, they enjoy it, but that's
People
not
love it.
that's not something
It's
that I
not
enjoy.
for
Well,
me.
also that it's a
That
franchise.
whole, I
like,
tried
I think
that whole franchise. I just don't enjoy.
what was cooler.
And
I mean, I
poor
think
Carrie
that's more
Elwes.
of a movie in a box. It was like, what a cool I mean, like, what a weird horror concept. Cool. And other movies did it like that. Was it the Cube movie too? Is the same thing. Like a lot of movies
Which-
did something like that. You're like, oh, cool.
I
But
like
they also made
Cube,
more, which
but
did.
Cube didn't hold up very well either. Like it fell apart by the end. But at
The
least it was a good
sci-fi one where
concept.
they're trapped in a big cube with all the
Yeah.
trap rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
But
that
then
was
at
a
the
neat
end,
idea.
Nah, at the end they all just go crazy and start fighting each other.
But it's
like,
like, wait,
that's so
these are
boring to
prime
me.
numbers. Like, yeah.
Yeah, good thing we brought the autistic kid.
Yeah, no one
they
else
always
could have
know
figured that
math
out.
really well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
not-
if
That's a
not
cool
thing.
idea, though. They should remake that with a smarter screenplay because that was a
You
neat
could
idea.
be,
But
you could
I
be
mean,
fun. Did you ever see Escape Room, the first one? That's not a bad movie,
need
and
to
it's
watch
that
that.
same kind of premise because we're stuck in an escape room, except it's really trying to kill us, kind of stuff. But it's actually
But-
a fun kind of movie.
But James Wan from Insidious on because Insidious, like my other friend Aaron that likes to watch his horror movies, he shows like you got to watch it. We'll watch it. I was like, okay, Insidious is great. I think Insidious is
Still,
like there's
even
so
in-
many.
Part 2 is goofy,
Visuals.
but Part 2 is still has a lot of good stuff in it.
But
Those are
Insidious
good
is
movies.
basically also like I love the premise of Insidious too. Like it's a great concept because it's also not demons. It's like it's Stranger Things. It's Insidious.
weird
basically.
ghost
No, it's the Stranger
dimension,
Things.
yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
went to like another dimension and disturbed something, and it came back. It's literally Stranger Things.
Yeah,
But, or the Mist too is the same thing. But
Yeah,
Stranger
there's
Things
a lot of
basically-
stories
Yeah.
from
Mist
that.
is not good.
But I mean, just the way they do it and the visuals,
liked it
and
all
it's
right.
just so
Lot-
done. Watch
lot
it
of-
again if you like. I think you should watch it again.
Are you saying
'cause-
you like The Mist?
Yeah,
Oh, the Mist.
A lot
I
of
was talking
people
about Insidious.
do.
I
I
didn't
like The
love
Mist.
it, but I didn't.
I hate the
it.
ending. Hate the
I
ending.
hate the ending.
The
And
Yeah.
ending was sad.
I actually just recently read the novella, and it's solid.
It doesn't end that way. Yeah.
No, and they're like,
Are we
Stephen
talking
King
about
signed
the
off
same
on-
Mist, the one where
The
they're trapped
Thomas
in the
Jane,
grocery
right?
store?
Yeah. Frank
Yeah,
Darabont.
okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think
not
they've
good.
made that more than once.
They
right?
tried to do a TV show, and I couldn't make it past episode 1. That was garbage. The Mist is at least watchable. The movie, I just don't
But
like
then
the ending.
I
There's
don't.
also what is it? The Fog? Is that one?
Yeah.
It's
That's
all
a
these,
just that is a John Carpenter. I just
Yeah.
watched that like yesterday. That's
Oh
funny.
wow!
I don't remember Insidious
It's
2. I don't
on
think I
Prime.
saw
Fog's a
anything
good
on
one.
past Insidious 2. Either.
Yeah,
I don't think I
they
saw
all
the
blur
third or
together
fourth
in my
one.
mind.
There's 3 and 4 are both decent.
I saw the ones that
you
he
can
did.
Watch them. Like
Yeah.
3 was the one about the girl who gets possessed in her dad's apartment or something. And then
The second
4
one
is
got
the one with
kinda
the weird
goofy, though.
skeleton key. The
Again,
second one's totally goofy, but it's still fun.
it's when they
They
get
have
too
time
much into
travel
the
stuff and
premise.
nonsense.
It's like this is too complicated now. I don't want to watch a sci like this is not supposed to be. This is supposed to be like, weird stuff happens in the house.
It's
And
still got good
Insidious
scary parts though. Like
Well, in the
there's still
first
some good
Insidious-
scary parts.
did the best thing too of any horror movie too, which is like what you want in any horror movie is like the movie starts, weird stuff happens, they go, we're moving.
They
Bye.
move, the
and
next
they
day,
move
and
immediately.
it-
I'm
yeah,
like,
dude.
follows
thank
them.
you.
Like,
That's
That's
like,
what that made
thank
it my
you.
favorite movie because I'm like,
'Cause
well,
every
what would
movie-
they do?
I
What could you
ended up-
do?
Alex is gonna like horror movies and that, but she's seen she actually watched a little bit of Paranormal Activity because it doesn't show anything. But when I was watching some of that with her,
You
she,
do the bedtime stories stuff with her too. So
She
you,
like she
you're
goes to the
priming her.
limit and then she goes, okay, I'm gonna scared for a couple weeks and then but she likes it. She's like I was when I was a kid. It's like I need to watch more of it, but it's also scaring me. But
It's good stuff.
watching that again in that movie Paranormal Activity, they're like the guy's like it doesn't matter where you go. I'd be like mother effort, I'm gonna try. Let's go to a
Yeah,
that's
hotel.
what
Let
I'm
it
saying,
follow
like,
me.
You
Let it
can
follow me to
tell
a
me
hotel.
it won't follow me, but I'd rather see it in a hotel than in my house.
I'd
because
rather be
at
able to
least I'd
walk down
on
to the
move.
lobby. I'll sleep in the lobby with a bunch
Like,
of
See
people
if
around.
it follows me to Germany.
We'll see if
Yeah.
it'll haunt the car while I'm on the highway.
I mean,
we'll try
yeah,
it.
I can sleep.
You're
when
just some
yeah.
guy.
How about a cruise ship? Can it keep up with a cruise
We
ship?
shouldn't.
But
have
that's
just-
the joke.
Yeah, like what if
But
I
that's
go into a
always-
different time zone and it's not the ghost normal time zone? We
But
don't
that's always
know.
the joke is because it's like
We-
they just say no, you can't leave, so it's the device. But that, like in
That's
that
the
one, they're like,
device.
we're done, we're leaving, bye. And
The
then
only
it
time
starts
that
happening
works is in Amityville Horror, and it's because there's like we sunk all our money into it. We don't have
Well,
any money, we
Conjuring
can't-
was like that too. The Conjuring,
That-
the same thing.
it
It's like they
works
have a
if you
family
put
of
it in a-
5, and
You
they
put
don't
it
have
in an
money. It's
economic reality.
They can't
of it.
afford that. Well, if in Dance Macabre, that's what Stephen King was saying was sort of groundbreaking about that movie, the Amityville Horror, because that's where it's hitting people is in the wallet. It's like everyone
Yeah, it's
understood
kind of like a
what if you
critique
sunk
of the
your
American
whole life?
dream.
Yeah,
right?
because you sunk your whole life into what was supposed to be the sort of pinnacle of the American dream, owning your
Yeah.
own home, and now it's horrific. And people are like, why don't they just leave? It's like, look, I don't know if you've ever owned a house, but you can't just get another house.
Right.
Like
So
that's
it's,
everything.
I'm just
That's
saying.
where you live.
And but then Paranormal Activity, the suggesting makes, let's just go to a hotel. That's like anybody
Oh,
can
yeah.
swing that. Go to a
Yeah,
campground.
and
for
I
a
would
night.
totally
Poltergeist,
Like, go
right?
sleep in
I
the
do that.
car.
do that.
I would be
Push the
sleeping in the
TV
car
outside.
outside. Yeah, like there's
We'll
no
just-
way I'm going back to that bedroom though.
We'll get
That
in a
girl will be
plane,
that.
and the plane will just keep circling the Earth
Yeah.
so that it's
Like-
always daylight out.
like the president
Because
does
You
in
know
a
what?
crisis or something.
We'll stop
around.
here, but you know what drives me nuts is the kid wakes up. I've seen some horrible stuff, and they're like, just go back to sleep. Like, no, I'm not going. Who would
do
go
that
back to
in
sleep?
Amityville.
How do you go back to sleep? That they do that all the time in movies. Just go back to sleep. Like, no, man, I'm up all night. I'm watching TV. Okay, thanks for watching.
I think it's better if it's awkward.